COVID was one of those situations where if you were breaking even losing money during COVID, chances are that your business was not going to reopen after COVID. And so there's a lot of restaurateurs I know that took opportunities in second generation spaces and grew their business out of it. I think that the most difficult part now is the office and where we are with office. Restaurateurs that are in major cities, and we are in Philadelphia, we are in Baltimore, we are in Houston. That office traffic, the daily office traffic, has not come back because of work remote. So, you build a lot of locations near hotels, and you hope to get the business travelers, but they're not traveling like they were prior to COVID, and they're not in the office like they were prior to COVID. So, I think downtowns across the country, there's a severe density issue. We are starting to move some of our restaurants into or do acquisitions in tourism driven areas where they're not relying on the business community. And that's why we bought the locations in Delaware and Rehoboth. It's a highly trafficked tourist area where a lot of boomers moved and retired during the COVID process. Annapolis is a tourist area. Valley Inn and Oregon Grill, which are in Baltimore County, is surrounded by really nice residential. And we've slowed down our building in big cities around CBDs and business districts. We did a major acquisition last year where we acquired 14 restaurants. We acquired the biggest restaurant group in Delaware. So that increased our store count by about 30%. The product is so much more expensive, which means the consumer is being charged more. You could see it with meat, you could see it with fish, you could see it with eggs. Everything price wise has gone up since before COVID. It's more expensive to build restaurants because materials are more expensive than they were before COVID. So I think there's fewer people building new restaurants. And there's been over the last 5 years, I think there was a growth spurt with some government money that was going around, and restaurateurs were using that to expand their business and take care of their staff and employees and grow their teams. And now you're seeing more of a culling of the herd, where things have slowed down and only certain operators are really thriving. And that's because of the expense. Has gotten more expensive, including labor. It seems like there's more employees available now than there were 4 years ago. There was a staffing shortage during COVID, and people have really come back to the restaurant industry. People that have a passion for it, or people that are looking for a part-time job. But staffing has, as hard as it was a couple years ago, has gotten significantly better. And I think that the bipartisan no tax on tips, which federally looks like it's going to happen, and they're actually trying to pass something in our state of Maryland, our home state. But it looks like no tax on tips. If that happens, I think you'll really see an influx of workers come back into the workforce for hospitality. Think about it this way: if a server makes $30 an hour and the tip credit is $5, then 25 of the $30 is non-taxable wages. And so you're looking at somebody that is now making the equivalent of, let's say, $50 or $55 an hour because they're not paying tax on anything but the tip credit. And so I think it'll attract a lot more people to the industry. You're going to see an influx of hospitality workers come back to the industry. For us, it comes down to landlord contribution. You really need to do deals with landlords that look at you and value you as a partner. And we have a lot of landlords out there that are contributing serious work letters and tenant allowances to get the right operators in their project. And those landlords are not ones that are looking in a predatory way to say, hey, how can we squeeze these guys for money? But really, how can we partner with these guys to provide foot traffic and also an amenity for our communities? And so for the restaurateurs out there, I would tell you, pick the right landlord and create a deal with somebody who wants you there as an amenity to the development, not just as a way to make money off of you, but just a way to provide a good product and great service for the community.